Tony is quite a guy. He went to Green Bay with the guys bowling, and he was at a restaurant, and the waitress came over to one of the other fellows, and she said, "What country is he from? Make him talk some more. I love to hear him talk. Make him talk. Make him talk some more." And here he is, a genuine Yooper.
I was born in a blizzard in a Willie Street. The Yoopee blood in my veins runs deep. But I moved down here back in '65, 'cause the mine closed down and I had to survive. Working in the city with a million lights, giving her tar paper day and night. The foreman says I'm a working fool, 'cause I earn my pay, I don't break no rule. If I didn't need to work, I wouldn't be here. I'd be back home on the last frontier, getting me some of that culture shock, listening to some Yooper Talk.
Herbie Anderson had a restaurant there, and just a short order restaurant, but some tourists came in one day, and they were about to sit down, and Herbie told Dolphus Vadna, our township supervisor, he said, "Dolphus, how about watching a restaurant for just a minute?" He said, "These people probably only want coffee anyway." He said, "I have to run to the post office to mail some letters." He said, "Would you watch the restaurant? And if they want coffee, give them coffee." And he said, "I'll be back in 10 minutes." He said, "And if they need any hamburgers or anything else, well, wait until I get back." Yeah, he said, "Okay." So Herbie left, and this old farmer that lived out in the country had pigs, and he'd come to the restaurant every day, and he picked up garbage. And of course, when you're picking up garbage, you don't put clean clothes on. And this guy had, when you'd see him, he had the snuff dribbling down his chin on both sides, and he had the same clothes on for 2 weeks. He'd been out in the cow barn shoveling manure and in the pig pen, and he stunk and looked terrible, And Adolphus heard this guy out in the kitchen, rattling around, and he never thought too much of it, but he thought he'd play a little trick on these tourists. And he went over to him and he said, "What can I do for you?" And he said, "Well, we'd like some coffee, and we'd like to see a menu for breakfast." "Okay." He said, "It's about 11 o'clock. He said, "We'll still serve breakfast." He got the coffee to him, and they said, "Well, how about the menu?" He said, "Just a minute, I'll call the chef." And he could hear Pittu out there rattling around in the kitchen, and he says, "Hey, Pittu, come out here." So Pittu comes to the door, and there he is, a sight to behold. Cow manure, pig manure, snuff juice down his face, and those tourists just got right up and left the restaurant right there. They never did come back. He said, "I'll call the chef." Here he comes, silhouetted in the door.
Cruising in the Chevy through the cool green pines on a beat-up highway with shot-up signs. Eating a pasty out at our horse camp, playing 15-2 by the kerosene lamp. Throwing some shoes with the other guys, shooting the breeze and just swatting flies. Getting all laid up on that 6-point deer, cruising the back roads and shining gear. If I didn't need to work, I wouldn't be here. I'd be back home on the last frontier, getting me some of that culture shock, listening to some Yooper Talk. Yooper Talk, Yooper Talk.
Fingerless Carlson. He got his fingers blasted off in a mine, so naturally they call him Fingerless Carlson. There's so many Carlsons around, you had to have an identification. Nobody have any mercy on anybody over there, You have to think about all these old characters, and think where they went.
I like that Park City Bill, though.
Park City Bill never worked and never will. He was a character. He had the damnedest laugh you ever heard in your life. I think I got it copied right. He went something like this. And that was his laugh, I've never heard anybody laugh like that, but it was so infectious. Farmer, friend of mine, came over to my house one day, and it was a Sunday afternoon, and I was really getting ready to go on a snowmobile trip. Of course, I was working on a snowmobile up on the back of the pickup, and he made about 3 circles around that pickup. Now, Toisto talked a little different than most people. He had kind of a high-pitched voice, and if I could imitate his voice, I'll give you an idea of what it sounded like. He made these 3 trips around my pickup truck watching me working feverishly to get my snowmobile ready to go on a trip. And he looked at me and so innocently and he says, "Gee whiz, you got a wife, you got kids, you got cows, you got chickens, you got tractors. What the heck do you need a snowmobile for? Ain't you got troubles enough already?" Werner was a boss down in a pit at Republic, and he had fallen a lot of times in the mine, but it was kind of a slippery day, wintertime, snow and ice all over the shovel, and he went up on a catwalk, and there was part of the catwalk had got knocked off, and he slipped up there, and he fell right off, about 16 feet, and the guy is up in age, and he was rolling around down on the rocks down below, and holy mackerel, everybody run down and said, "Are you okay, Werner?" He jumped up, he said, "You can't kill Werner, I'm too tough."
If I didn't need to work, I wouldn't be here. I'd be back home on the last frontier, getting me some of that culture shock, listening to some Yooper Talk, Yooper Talk, Yooper Talk, Yooper Talk.